Ready to level up your UI game in Figma? In this video I will show you how to design a fully responsive card using the new Figma Auto Layout features. Auto Layout in Figma is a must-have for every modern designer because it brings structure, responsiveness and efficiency to your workflow in Figma. Instead of manually resizing and aligning elements, Auto Layout allows components to adjust dynamically as content changes. This saves you hours of never-ending tweaks. Auto Layout mimics how elements behave in real code, making your designs more realistic and developer-friendly. With these features like padding, spacing, and alignment controls, you can create flexible, responsive components that work across different screen sizes. Whether you are building buttons, cards, or entire layouts, Auto Layout ensures consistency and scalability. It also empowers you to design with real content in mind, reducing reliance on placeholder text, and Auto Layout also encourages a content-first mindset that supports better collaboration with developers and is essential for building smart, reusable design systems. It's not just a feature, it's a shift in how we design interfaces in Figma. Once you embrace it, you will never go back. In this tutorial, we will also explore the new grid feature introduced at Config 2025, which takes the layout precision to the next level. Combined with previous auto layout features, this new grid system allows us to align, space, and structure components with even greater flexibility and control. Whether you are working on a card, section, or a full page layout, the updated grid system lets you define both column and row grids dynamically, making it perfect for responsive designs. It's now much easier to maintain consistent spacing, align elements precisely, and even experiment with complex layout like bento-style designs or adaptive dashboards. Together, we will walk through how to integrate these grids with Auto Layout to create designs that are not only clean and scalable, but also developer-ready. Before starting any design component, I always create a quick mood board for inspiration. My go-to platform for this is Contra. It's packed with thousands of designs, case studies, and verified projects of people showcasing real earnings, offering instant inspiration. But that's not only all. Contra also gives you the opportunity to share your own work, gain exposure, and start building your personal brand identity. I personally highly recommend sharing your work on Contra and across all social media platforms as often as you can. For me, constantly posting content was a game changer for my design career. I kept sharing even after building a strong client portfolio, and I have zero regrets. In fact, new opportunities continue to roll in every week, which is a crucial advantage in the fast-paced world of design. But now let's jump back into finding inspiration on Contra. As mentioned, we will be working on a responsive card featuring a mentor profile for a website. On Contra, you can simply search for web design and instantly access tons of inspiring projects. Once you find the most relevant ones, you just take a screenshot and add them to your Figma mood board. Okay, so here we are in Figma and let's kick off the component design. You can start by creating two main frames that contain all the essential content, including an image and also accompanying text. To help you to get started, you can follow this structure. One frame dedicated to showcasing the image and another frame focused on displaying the text elements such as the title, description, and call to action buttons. This balanced layout will ensure that the web is visually appealing and functional, with a clear hierarchy guiding the user's interaction. So the first group of the content is already created. We have the frame with the fill with this kind of image. And for the second group of content, we have prepared these elements. So let's organize them into one auto layout frame. So first we have these two text layers. So the first one is the heading and then the subheading. The first one includes the name of the mentor. Here you can see that we are using the Inter font with the semi-bold style and it's in the 20 size. And also the line height is set to 20 24, so it fits great the 8 or 4-point grid system. I would like to visually group these elements, so let's choose both of these and let's hit Shift A to apply the auto layout. Let's rename to heading and subheading like this, and we have the auto layout applied, but I think that these should be much closer related than 12 spacing between, so let's choose 4 like this. Okay, so then we have the tags. So here is the first tag, but I would like to add at least 2 others. So let's choose the UX, UI, and for example product design like this. And again, we will apply the auto layout, but it will be not the vertical auto layout, but the horizontal one. So let's choose all of the tags and let's hit Shift A to apply the auto layout. Again, you can rename to tags like this, and let's make much closer relation between them. I think that 8 should be optimal. You can see that I'm using the multiples of 4 or 8 to have some kind of design system. Now we can apply another frame auto layout which will contain all of these elements. So let's choose the first 2 groups of elements and again hit Shift A to apply the auto layout. You can rename this to content like this. And as for the spacing between, I think that 16 should be optimal like this. And for the rest, you can see that here we have the bio or the description of the mentor. So this layer is already created. So for this one, you can just drag and drop to the main auto layout like this, or you can copy and paste it. You can see that for the width, we are using the same width as for the frame containing the image. That's crucial then for setting the responsivity of the whole card component. For another elements, I would like to add this kind of divider to the content here, so we divide then the actions which will be on the bottom of this component frame. So we divide the frame with these 2 actions. So the first action is the secondary button containing more option to learn more about the lecture, and also we have here the primary button which contains the option to book a lecture. So let's again choose both of the buttons and hit Shift A to apply the auto layout and again put it directly within this OG auto layout. You can see that these elements are wider than the others, so let's fix that. To do that, all you have to do is to set not the hug here, but the fill, and the main frame for these actions will adapt to the width of the others. But still, you can see that we are using here the 28 spacing, which is not optimal. I would go with 12 to fit the width of the other elements. And here you go, you created 2 frames composing the whole card component. Now let's move on to merging the content. So to do that, all you have to do is to select the both frames you have just created, including the one with the image and the one with the text and buttons, and then press Shift 8 to add them to a new auto layout frame. This step is crucial for making your design responsive and adaptable to different screen sizes. I already mentioned that when adjusting the padding, spacing and other layout properties, be sure to stick to values that are multiples of 8 or 4. This approach will maintain a consistent and clean grid system, ensuring that the design elements are evenly spaced and aligned, contributing to a polished and professional look. You can see that the space between 2 main frames are not optimal, so let's change this to 20 like this. And also I would like to apply the paddings. So for the paddings here I would go with the 20, and it's the same for the vertical paddings like this. To make the card design complete, let's add the fill. I would go just with the pure white color, and also I would like to adjust the corner radiuses to fit better the image frame and also the buttons. So for the corner radiuses I would go with 20 like this, and you can see that now it fits much better. Again, you can rename the frame to make this complete. Let's name it card. A key step in making your web card fully responsive is utilizing the wrap feature for the inner content. To do this, select the main frame that contains both your image and the text elements, and then switch the layout settings to wrap. Here you can see that we have the horizontal auto layout, but this wrap function is disabled, so let's enable it like this. By enabling wrap, you ensure that no content overflows or get cutoffs, resulting in a cleaner, more flexible design. The wrap function is enabled, but you can see that the content is not really dynamic. So to improve this, let's choose the both inner frames like this, and here we have the fixed width. So this should be changed to fill. You should ensure that all of the inner elements are set to fill too. So let's check all of these, and here you can see that we are using the fill container. To set up the advanced behavior, next let's select the two inner content frames, one containing the image and the another one containing the text and the buttons, and let's set a minimum width value for them. To do that, all you have to do is to select both frames, and here where you have the fill behavior, click on this arrow, and here click on add the minimum width. For this example, you can set the minimum width to 224 pixels like this. This ensures that even when the screen size shrinks, the content will never collapse below this width, maintaining the structure and readability for your web card. And for the final step, let's set maximum and minimum width for the main card frame to ensure that the layout stays clear and consistent. This helps control how the card adapts to various screen sizes, preventing it from becoming too wide or too narrow. Defining these constraints ensure your design remains stable and easy for developers to implement responsively. To do that, all you have to do is to click on this arrow and let's add min width. For the minimum, I would go with 320 like this. And for the maximum width, again click on this arrow and here at the maximum width, which should be 720. And now if you resize the card, you can see that it remains with the maximum and minimum width. Still we have here some issues, so let's fix this. For the image frame, I think that it should not resize in the aspect ratio we have here. So let's disable this, and here let's keep 2022 and fill width for the image. You can see that now it adapts pretty well based on the size of the whole card. Also, if you resize, you can see that this content is not changing dynamically. First, let's fix this text frame. So here we will not have the fixed value, but this will be fill container like this. And now you can see that the content is changing dynamically. And the same will be for the divider. So here let's choose the fill container. For the buttons, the situation is a little bit different. So let's resize the whole component size like this. And let's see how we can fix this from the design perspective. So I think that we should keep more prominent the primary one for booking the lector. Here you can see that we have again a fixed value. So for this, let's change to fill, but ensure that the secondary button will remain with the fixed value. Okay, so here are the final results. With these settings, you can achieve proper handoff and effectiveness in prototyping in Figma. Finally, you can of course set this as a master component and put within your design system. I promised you that I will show you also the new grid feature within Figma. So let's see how we can use it for the component design we already created. Imagine that there is a landing page where you would like to present all of the mentors on the platform. So let's create a grid that will contain all of these cards. To present all of the mentors within a platform, we will use both the vertical and also the horizontal card. So let's copy and paste the component to have like 4 vertical cards like this. And again, choose all of them and hit Shift A to apply auto layout. Again, we should stick with the 4-point system grid. So let's change this to 32 like this. And let's rename to vertical grid. I think that you already saw that here we have the new option within the auto layout, which is the grid. It's currently in beta, but I think it works pretty well. So basically we would like to add more lines like this, and all you have to do that is to apply the grid alignment like this, and here you can choose the number of rows and columns. For the number of columns I would like to stick with the 4, but I think we can add the two rows like this, you can see that the grid is now applied. So now it's much easier for us to add the new cards within the grid. So here, if you select again the copy of the master component and hit copy and paste, you can see that it perfectly fits to the grid we set within the auto layout function. And in the same way, it works for the horizontal version of this card. So let's resize the master component to have it like this. And now we can combine both of the grids. So let's choose the two horizontal cards like this and apply the new auto layout with Shift A. And again, let's change this to grid. And to add more cards within the grid, all you have to do is to copy and paste the component within the grid, and you can see that it adapts pretty well. Finally, you can choose all of the components, again hit Shift A to apply the auto layout, and you can create a new section for your landing page. Okay, so now the component is ready, but we are not finished. I already mentioned the importance of building your personal brand identity, so let's take an advantage of having this component design and let's publish it on a Contra as a new project. Once your Contra profile is set up, you will have the option to add projects to showcase your work. Let's go ahead and click on Add a new project. To make things easier, Contra allows you to insert a link from another social media platform, which it automatically converts into a Contra project. But for now, we will create one from scratch. A simple way to do this is placing the card component we created into a frame in Figma, which has 1600 width and 1200 height. But you can even animate it using tools like Face, but that's a topic for another video. Contra projects support multiple media types. You can include text, images, videos, but what I really want to highlight here is the ability to embed Figma files. This is an excellent opportunity for designers to showcase their skills directly in Figma, allowing viewers to interact with the design on Contra or open it in Figma for a closer look. You will find the full project linked in the video description. It includes the card component we built today, fully embedded, ready to duplicate, and perfect for your future reference. From my side, it's all for today. Happy designing and see you in the next tutorial.